What's up YouTube, this is Danny Draghi back with another MIR4 video where I'll attempt to show you how to defeat the Grand Centipedeus, which is by far the hardest boss encounter I have faced thus far. While it only requires 54,000 power to join, that is a joke, as 54k will get you one shot by everything, do very little damage, and miss half of your attacks and skills. I wouldn't recommend attempting this raid unless you are over 60k in power, unless you have a handful of 70k plus friends to carry you, or if you just want to waste a boss ticket in exchange for an hour of frustration. I am not exaggerating here, as the amount of times I yell fuck and other related obscenities at my computer during this boss fight has concerned both my family and neighbors. I mean, the last thing I need when getting bent over and held down by 100 slimy appendages is Brenda, "You suck!" knocking on my door to do a wellness check. "We're fine, Brenda. I was just playing a motherfucker. Did you just try to poison me? Oh my god, I'm going to fucking stab your ugly bitch face.
That is why you fail.
Let's talk about boss mechanics, shall we? A new mechanic introduced in this battle is the cone-shaped ability where the boss spews poisonous vomit. This will do a ton of damage over time if you stand in it, but it also rotates counterclockwise. This should always be avoided by walking or dodging to the left, forward, or backwards, but never to the right, or you will still be hit by it as it rotates around the boss. The boss has a few variations of basic attacks that will do damage to all players in front of it. The largest of these is where he goes up into the air and comes down in a small area of impact. The boss will begin to shake and release pools of poison that debuff your character and do damage over time. These pools should be avoided at all costs, as the poison effects stack, dealing more damage over time and lowering your physical defenses. There are also red circles that appear around these poison wells that do large amounts of burst damage if you're standing inside of them when they go off. The next attack I like to call the belly flop, because it affects a large rectangle area in front of the boss where he just plops his fat ass down on top of you, doing moderate damage, and is hard to avoid if you're caught out in the open. Dodging will help reduce the damage of this attack if you cannot avoid it. It is usually easier to dodge through the boss to avoid this attack than to either side, as the area of the attack is so large. At about 380 health bars, the boss will summon 2 tentacles on one side. The party should focus these tentacles before continuing to attack the boss, or it will continue to summon even more tentacles on the other side. Try to focus on the tentacles up front with the rest of your party. If it's possible, align yourself so that your skills will hit multiple tentacles at the same time. That's not all the boss will summon. It also spawns waves of viper beasts, pawns, and gigantic jumping spiders. Oh my. There are 2 options here. Lure the monsters to the front where they can be focused down while your warriors keep the attention of the boss. This is the safest option, or you could attempt to group the monsters with the boss for a faster clear speed if your tanks are up to the task. If you are close to having your ultimate up, it is a good idea to focus on a group of monsters so that you can fully charge it in a few abilities, so that you have some vulnerability ready for the boss's big attacks. At about 180 health bars, the boss will summon 6 more tentacles to be taken down while dodging everything we just spoke about, and why don't we add in another attack for good measure. This next attack creates a large AoE circle in front of the boss and does massive damage to everyone caught in the area. Considering the size of the zone, there is not much time to react if you're caught in the middle. I hope you are enjoying yourself so far, because at 100 health bars, we're about to switch into hard mode. Let's summon more monsters, tentacles, and add new mechanics while we're at it. The boss will begin to dive under the surface, summoning a few viper beasts in its place, only to resurface moments later and deal massive damage and knock everyone to the ground. It also does a poison vacuum attack that takes up almost the entire area except for the very beginning where you respawn, but don't worry, it probably won't kill you. It will stun you though and pull you in, which will leave you vulnerable for the next attack that I've named the Scrape. The Scrape is like the belly flop, but there is no ground indicator, and it's actually a combo that hits multiple times if you're caught in the area. Since my heal abilities can block CC, I managed to buffer it at the correct time to block the stun and pullback while also avoiding the Scrape that always follows. Don't make the mistake of celebrating too early if you manage to immune the suck attack and end up forgetting about the Scrape like I did here. If you want to bring this sucker down, you will need to play the whole fight to the best of your ability, as each death will increase your respawn timer and the potential for a wipe leading to a reset. Thank you for watching. Like and share if these tips help you get your first clear reward. Drop a tip or suggestion in the comments and subscribe for more MIR4 content.